Hello everyone. Welcome to the 13th week of our Advanced Sports Management course, where today we are going to dive deep into the major transformation of the Olympic host selection process and the strategic implications this holds for us. In the past, we were used to a fierce competitive bidding landscape, but we have now shifted entirely to a mechanism based on continuous dialogue. We need to understand the background of this shift, specifically looking at the Agenda 2020 and the new norm policies under President Thomas Bach, while also grasping the critical evaluation indicators of sustainability and legacy. Our goal today is to understand the philosophy behind Agenda 20205, the role of the future host commissions, and to derive strategies from recent cases like Brisbane 2032 and the 203,034 Winter Games. To understand where we are, we have to look back at the bidding era, which was characterized by a very rigid timeline, where a host had to be selected 7 years prior to the Games. This system required cities to complete all preparations by a certain point, meaning if a city failed to win, they faced massive sunk costs. It was a high-cost structure where hundreds of billions were spent on bidding activities and showy promotions, leading to concerns about the winner's curse and fostering corruption, such as the Salt Lake City scandal, which hit the IOC's ethics hard. This naturally led to a crisis known as the No Olympics phenomenon, where advanced cities like Oslo, Boston, and Hamburg withdrew their bids due to citizen opposition and concerns over white elephant facilities and financial deficits. The IOC realized that without change, the Olympics had no sustainability and faced an existential crisis due to a drastic drop in hopeful host cities. This brings us to the turning point Olympic Agenda 2020, adopted in 2014 as a strategic roadmap for the future, along with the new norm announced in 2018. The core philosophy shifted to cost reduction and flexibility, establishing the principle that the Games must adapt to the city, not the other way around. To execute this, the IOC abolished the old Evaluation Commission and created the Future Host Commission, FHC. Unlike the old passive commission that just evaluated applications, the FHC, currently led by Kirsty Coventry, proactively scouts and engages in constant dialogue with potential hosts. The FHC has the authority to scout and monitor global geopolitical and climate risks, advise cities on master plans to cut costs, and ultimately recommend priority candidates to the executive board. The new selection process is fluid, consisting of informal exchange, continuous dialogue, targeted dialogue, and finally the election, with no set deadlines and no concept of elimination, like in the past. In the continuous dialogue phase, which is non-committal, cities can explore their options without any application fees and can exit at any time, reducing political and financial burdens. If a city moves to targeted dialogue, upon approval by the executive board, they become a preferred host, submitting government guarantees and undergoing strict due diligence regarding legal and financial risks. When evaluating these cities, the IOC now prioritizes environmental sustainability, mandating plans that are climate positive and requiring 100% renewable energy, while strictly forbidding construction in protected areas. They also look heavily at legacy, both hard legacy, like the post-game use of venues, and soft legacy like social and cultural impacts. Furthermore, human rights impact assessments and verified public support are now essential criteria. This shift has also changed the governance structure. The IOC session no longer chooses between multiple cities, but simply ratifies the single candidate proposed by the executive board through a yes-no referendum, effectively ending the old survival-style voting. We can see this in action with Brisbane 2032, the first new norm case, which was selected 11 years early without a bidding war, largely because they utilized 84% existing or temporary venues and had strong government and public support. Similarly, The 2030 and 2034 Winter Games were awarded simultaneously to the French Alps in Salt Lake City, as a strategic move to secure hosts amidst the climate crisis. For Korea's bid for 2036, we need to learn from this by starting preemptive dialogue, presenting a clear vision that fuses peace and digital culture, and securing solid public support to address any cost concerns. Ultimately, the future of hosting is about digital convergence and city branding, moving away from construction projects to sustainability projects.